0, 1. Let's get started.
Hello and welcome back, everyone. We're going to be yet again using my professional day trading strategy on one of your favorite assets. And in today's video, that's going to be none other than AVPT. So you can definitely thank the individual who commented this in the section of a video, and I was able to see that and ultimately make today's video for you, okay? Now, when looking at this, kind of where we last left off, we talked about this exact same scenario basically playing out, okay? Now, right now, we can get rid of the red as well as that green upper level, and right now, we can basically just focus on this level right here, okay? We've pushed past this 1250 like we were looking for, and now we're basically looking for 1 to 2, maybe even 3 variations, okay? Now, the first one's already on the screen, in which we're looking to basically rotate back up all the way to right around 20 bucks, okay? Now, it depends if we go a little bit further down than before reversing, but for right now, we can arguably say that this whole distance here in fuchsia is going to be what we're looking to try to capture on the reverse side going back up through the range, okay? Now, subjectively, as it stands right now, that would put us somewhere in the neighborhood right around this 2150 level, okay? A little bit higher than that prior high as we, again, look to rotate to the upside, all right? Now, secondly, we have to be aware of the fact that the momentum right now is currently pretty bearish overall, okay? And that means that ultimately the market can continue to fall further down, so we have to be aware of that definite scenario. Now, in that scenario, again, we should see this pretty obvious continuation breakdown. And in that situation, we may even go down a bit further and further, and then ultimately that will 100% change momentum. And then at that point, the market more than likely is going to be looking to retest that low before deciding any future moves, okay? This is obviously not ideal for any bullish buyers out there because this will take some time to kind of unfold, all right? But again, we are at that really pivotal moment for this asset, whether or not it wants to break down and crumble or continue its overall bullish return, giving investors and people a great buying opportunity, okay? Now, lastly, everyone, we do need to talk about the third scenario, okay? It's a bit more rare, so just bear with me on how we're going to explain this. Now, with this scenario at hand, we have this bigger move down, and if we end up just basically barcoding at this low, it becomes very unique, okay? Because in this situation, you're basically governed by its own barcode. So with that being said, we have 2 variations that can play itself out. The first one's going to be the most appropriate given the situation, and that's going to be the fact that we have some sort of fake breakout to the upside, and then we look to rotate now back through the low, okay? Now, once we get through that low, basically the same 2 scenarios kind of play itself out that we mentioned earlier on. Either we're going to continue to go lower in a bearish continuation, and that's obviously what we do at that point, or at that point, we're going to attempt to I guess not go all the way back up to the high, but we're going to attempt to be bullish, basically, okay? Now, it won't be an immediate return all the way to the high like we mentioned previous because we are now in a different scenario, like a range, but we would expect the market to at the very least rotate back up to wherever the swing high was in this scenario, okay? And in this scenario, that's right around 13 bucks. So just be aware that that's kind of the play that we need to be aware of. Now, I'll give it another update on where this could be going after that because quite honestly, I'll be talking about this all day and some of this stuff may not even happen. So let's just kind of wait to see what happens and we'll play it out from there, okay? Now, lastly, if we do get the rarer instance in which this range does still form, which you can see right here, we would be looking for a situation actually in which we push down lower first, okay? Now, that's actually a bit more advantageous for bulls out there because at this particular point, we could find ourselves in an interesting situation where we immediately retest back to the upside, okay? Now, at that point, we would be looking for the same distance underneath as is above, and we would have to kind of wait to see what will happen, okay? Because what should happen after we rotate back up is a rotation back down, which is obviously not good for all the bulls. However, what could happen, because we are on the outskirts of this bigger range that you can see defined here, we may end up getting that breakout to the upside, okay? We may see a continuation that's bullish as we push going higher, okay? Now, again, we can just simply look to buy dips as the market's going to rotate in that range. So there's a couple different variations you do need to be aware of. And I think if you review this video, you'll be totally fine and be able to handle pretty much anything that you see, okay? Now, I will give an update this in the future, but if you want an update sooner, then simply like and subscribe. Well, definitely like the video. You don't have to subscribe, but liking the video helps me figure out and weed through all the videos that I have to make, okay? Now, again, everyone, if you want to see me trade this exact same system live every single day, And then come join me on the on YouTube on the live stream that I have at 9:30, where you can see me day trade the S&P 500 as a professional futures trader. Okay, so do yourself a favor, if you do like trading, or if you want to learn a bit more, I'd highly suggest you come and watch me trade live. Now, besides that, everyone, if you want to learn the system for yourself, or if you want to join the community as we trade together, then simply look down below for the Discord/Patreon link, okay? You'll have access to the non-delayed as well as the voice that I talk through the situationals that we have on the charts, okay? So again, everybody, thanks for giving me some of your time. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all on the next candle.
I know it's hard to trust so-called gurus. That's why I live stream my trades every single day, Monday through Friday, starting at 9:30 a.m. The live stream isn't for you to copy my trades, it's to show proof and credibility that my strategy works. The stream is delayed and muted to protect my edge. But if you want to see everything unmuted and in real time, check out the Discord and Patreon links below. You'll get exclusive perks and the opportunity to learn the system for yourself, so you don't miss great opportunities just like this one.
All right, everyone. So you're going to be seeing a trade that I just recently took live during the stream, and ultimately you can be a part of this too, so make sure you look down below. But when taking a look at the trade that we just recently took here, it was the objective coming in was the fact that we had a really big move push to the upside, okay? Now this big move to the upside was basically counterplayed by a pullback, and subsequently our entry was to look to get in right above a couple pivots to retest the prior high, okay? So what you're seeing right now is the replay of my actual entry, which was right here at this 68.1925 area. And again, ultimately, like I was saying before, our main objective from this standpoint is to look to try to retest this prior high back at 68, let's just say 38. So what we are looking at right now is my volatility-based stop loss in perfect action, okay? Every trade and every day has a different stop loss based on the volatility of the day specific. So when taking a look at this trade specifically, you can see that we came relatively close to getting stopped out, okay? However, we did not get stopped out, and we ultimately reversed just like we were expecting. Now, obviously a bit deeper of a correction, but everything was within the wheelhouse of what we were expecting. And as you can soon see here in just a few seconds, we ended up getting that first target as it hits right there. And then with a little bit more patience, we did end up getting the second target as well. Now just be aware, after you get your first target, you do want to stop the risk, which is why we did pull the stop up to right around and or above our entry pivot, okay? Now from this standpoint, again, we were just waiting, being patient. And I was referencing in this part of the video what we talked about in our afternoon game plan videos, okay? I was basically saying that we were looking at this in terms of that green case scenario that we mentioned on our nightly recap videos, and that we were essentially looking for a continuation going higher, okay? Now we kind of phased that back to where we were. We did have that bigger move that went up, and now this is the three-legged pullback, and again, the retest to the high. Now, at the very least, I am expecting it to retest the high and potentially continue going higher, which is why we have those targets above us, okay? But in essence, we ended up getting that next target with a bit of patience. Definitely some patience was required. And then we ended up tightening up our stop loss and then getting trailed out without hitting the extension, okay? Now, all in all, this was a $2,500 trade. So if you want to be a part of the situation just like this, then be sure to look down below for the Discord/Patreon links, or come and join the muted, delayed live stream every 9:30 here on the YouTube channel.